Salam.
Peace to all.
Peace.
Okay, so we're here again. I think we've got our sounds all set up and we can do a little bit of housekeeping here. So I'm going to drop the link again and check whether the streams are going at the same time. So anybody who wants to join the conversation and has the courage to come up with the questions that may not be answered from the book, well, we can surely entertain them. Yeah. So salam. Anyway, so just to
Salam.
reiterate, so whoever wants to join the conversation, the link is there. It's pinned to the top, and that link is all you need to click on, and you will be in the um, conversation, and we can join you for you to question or ask questions about whatever you want to be addressed or not. Addressed,
So,
actually, not. Go ahead.
so I was saying that can I start with a few questions that I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
for
go
you?
ahead.
Yeah, people say that you are a self-proclaimed messenger, and they say it in a denigrating way. What do you have to say to them?
Okay, I mean, I've heard this from quite a few people over the last 10 odd years that I've been saying that I'm God's messenger on the earth. And today I say I'm the only messenger of God on the earth from mankind and demonkind. There is no other messenger. So for those who say that I'm self-proclaimed, those who have no knowledge of the book, they have a bit of an excuse to say because they don't know anything about God. They know little or nothing about God. But those who hold these books, and I mean any of these books, especially the Torah and the Injil, the so called Bible, and the Quran, they are deluded if they say that in any way, shape, or form. If you can give me an example of any messenger or prophet that is mentioned in the three books, from the three books, that is proclaimed by the people to be the messenger before he comes and says, I am God's messenger. If that can be proven, then you have an argument to say, I'm the self proclaimed messenger of God. I mean, if there was a other messenger before me that was not self-proclaimed, then you can accuse me of that, right? but as it is obvious in the book, all books and all examples, the messenger comes and tells you he is God's messenger. You don't stand up and, hey, he's God's messenger, let's follow him. I don't think that ever happens. And even when the messenger comes and says, nobody follows him.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like we have any what do you call it, difference in the way mankind acts. It's exactly the same every time. It's not like the messenger is comes and says, hey, let's have a census, let's have an election to see if I'm God's messenger, and then everybody says yeah, yeah, and then the message, okay, now I'm going to be God's messenger to you. It's complete nonsense. The messenger is chosen by God, not by you. You don't have any choice in it, neither do I. I mean, I don't have a choice to be or not to be God's messenger. He chooses me, I am. So I think that should be clear, right?
Okay, and also that people say that just because you have translated the Quran, you say that you are the messenger of the God.
Yeah, they people like have this delusion in their minds and nonsense that because they say because he's translated the Quran, he starts to think he's messenger of God, which many people do, by the way. They make the translation of the Quran, and that makes them a messenger of God in their minds. That's complete nonsense. Yeah. I didn't want to translate this Quran, and you are witness to that. It took me about a year or a bit less than a year to accept translating the Quran to English because there was like 50, 100 translations back in 2008, 7. I'm like, what is another translation going to help? Until God showed me that I had no choice but to translate it. And the reason for my translation, now that I look back and I can see it, is because God sends the messenger in the tongue of his people. I'm the messenger to all of these on the earth today, the 8 billion or whatever. I don't even know how many there are. To all of them. So, what is the prevalent tongue spoken on earth? It's English. It's
Yes.
the universal tongue today, right? I mean, yes, there are many people who speak Chinese, 1.5 billion award, and Hindi and Urdu together, 1.5 billion, 1.7 billion, and Arabic and Spanish and French, not that much, and English. But English is cross border, right? And that is most of the business is done in English, and most contracts written on the earth are written in English in this generation. So that's why the book is translated into English today. And yeah, there are many who have translated the Quran other than me, but I can guarantee you that anybody who comes and argues with this translation of the book with another one will lose. Of course, the Quran is the absolute truth, and I'm sure that I have made mistakes in the translation, minor ones where words are not repeated often in the Quran. Most of the words I have been inspired by the Quran to find the meanings to write in English, most of them. And there are some that are fringe, and the meanings of those do not really change the whole concept of what's written in the Quran. They might be better words for those that I've translated, but I've looked at my heart and the inspiration God gave me and wrote those words. If I'm wrong, it's not because I've been maliciously wrong, but I don't see any issues in the overall concept of what the Quran is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and also people falsely accuse the translation, your translation, that it's like a Google Translate, and that this person doesn't have any knowledge of the Quran and doesn't know Arabic, and things like this. When obviously they have no knowledge, right? Like to say
Yeah, I
such
mean,
things.
you've witnessed who did the translation. You are a clear
Absolutely,
witness of one of the few that have witnessed me translate the Quran.
that's
And
correct.
I did it through the inspiration of God and His Spirit, Gabriel. That's how I translated, and the help of others on the earth that have translated the Quran and done work. I've looked at theirs and have gained some knowledge from that, but most of it, by far the vast majority, I translated through the inspiration of God. And the words that I have used have not been used by almost anyone for some specific words which cause the core of the meaning to change. And that's what they did before. It's not like the Jews kept the Hebrew to what the Hebrew was spoken back then when Moses was here. Absolutely not. They changed the meanings of words, and the so-called Muslims have done the same with the Arabic. The Arab Muslims have changed the meanings of the Arabic words. If you look at our current language, English, over the last 30 years, how much of that has changed? The
Yeah,
meanings of words that we use 30 years are not the same today. So you think after thousands of years or hundreds of years, these words have been kept same? No, that is the plot of Satan to change the meanings of words, to destroy the core message of the Quran. God chooses his messenger, he shows him the actual words, he writes them, they denigrate him, they reject him, they call him all sorts of names, and then he destroys them. Nothing is going to change this time. It
yeah,
is not like there is a change in this aspect of the the method of God is the same. Now they say that this Quran is in Arabic, and I'm using English. It's written in the Quran. They will say, "Oh, this the tongue they're thrown to him is foreign, and this is Arabic clear." Yeah, what's going on here? And then when Muhammad was here, if he would send a Quran foreign, they would say, "Huh, a Quran foreign, a reading foreign, and this in Arab." So they just want to give an excuse or argument to not believe.
yeah,
God can send anyone in any language. All languages belong to God, and He teaches who He wishes. I mean,
yeah,
Jesus was born speaking, okay? Nobody taught Him from mankind. And He
yeah.
knew the book and wisdom, all of the book, when He came out of the stomach of Mary. I mean, these are things they will not argue, obviously, because they have no understanding, and most of them don't even believe it, right?
So if somebody was to ask you and say that why are you a messenger and how do you know that you're a messenger, what would you say to them?
Well, it's all inspiration, first of all. It is all through inspiration. It's not like God speaks to me like Moses. He inspires to me for sure. The Spirit inspires to me. This book inspires to me. And what they inspire to me is that I am a Warner Clare. I am a messenger to all of mankind, just like Muhammad was and everyone after him till the end. So it's an inspiration. God chooses me to be his messenger. I don't choose myself to be a messenger. I can't come around and say I'm a messenger without it took me 4 years from 2010 to 2014 to accept it completely myself. I mean, obviously, I still look back like, why me? I asked that question, why me? Why not someone else? And I was looking for someone else who would have the knowledge that I have. And what? Found
You
no one.
didn't. Yep.
I couldn't find anyone. Took me like 10 years to accept, okay, you're the only one, deal with it. I mean, it's not a good place to be when you're alone and you know you're going to be all crazy because that's what the Quran says. So it's not because I deliver the message of God that I'm a messenger of God. It's because God has chosen me to be his messenger that I deliver the message of God. It's not because I deliver the message that I'm a messenger. It's the other way around. People are upside down in this world.
Yep.
They are ass backwards, as they say. Yeah? Nothing is straight up in this world today. Everything is opposite. Man has to decide. We have to elect. We have to choose our leaders. We're going to have election, and all these elections are rigged, are manipulated, are totally unjustified and illegitimate. Yeah, that's how it is. And God chooses who He wishes. Period. End of discussion.
Yep. Yeah. No. True. Okay. No.
Can I add something to this?
Yeah.
So, in a common society, when somebody is against the saying of someone, they usually go and challenge them, which means that they would uh, come in an open debate and have a decent argument and prove the other party wrong. So, for the last 15 years, Assad has been doing that. He's been openly inviting, in fact, I would say challenging the entire mankind to come and prove him wrong. If Assad is the one who's saying that he is the messenger of God, chosen by God to deliver God's messages, then it is upon the other party to come and denounce or reject or accept or prove him wrong. If they are not able to do that, then they are the falsifiers.
Exactly.
They are the ones who are the liars. They are the ones who are not capable to come and prove something wrong that they claim to be wrong.
Yeah.
So that is one side of their destruction. The other is that this is the only translation on this earth that I can openly, confidently, without a measure of any doubt, state that it can be translated to Arabic. Most of it, if not all of it. And I will prove it right now. I will just read to you one sign that was delivered by Father Abraham. And in Arabic, he said, Aslamtu li Rabbil Alameen. In English, it is, I submit to Lord of the knowing. Now you take I submit to Lord of the knowing and read it in Arabic. Aslamtu, I submit li Rabbi to Lord Alameen of the knowing. So if any sane human being on this earth who has a heart, who can hear, who can think, who knows any word of Arabic, any word of English, should go sit down quietly in silence without any distraction if he's sincere and just read these signs and see how easily it can be translated back to Arabic. I submit to Lord of the knowing. Aslamtu li Rabbil Alameen. It should not be difficult. If there is a doubt after this, then the doubt is in their soul.
Yep.
The confusion is with them, not with us.
Yeah, I mean, they're all confused that this is their state. And that's what Satan wants them to be because he was himself confused. The word Iblis, from the word Iblis comes labisa, which is wrapped up or confused. So it is that word that makes people be defined as confused because he was confused about who is God when God told him to prostrate to Adam. He was
Praise
confused
the
doubly
Lord.
when he told him, why aren't you? And he doubled down. and thus he is now fallen from the high of the high to the lowest of the low in the hellfire, and he wants all of you to join him in that hellfire to live there perpetually after you die. But most people believe there is no life after death, just like there was no life before death. We will see soon enough. Anyway, so let's today we're going to go and read about some stuff about David and Solomon. Yeah. So first, let's look at this aspect of what God uh, did, or the trial that God put on David in chapter 38. So here we'll start with from 17. There is stuff before, you can read it if you want, but basically here God says to all this, God speaking, by the way, wait over what they say and remember our servant David with the strength. Surely he turned. Okay, so he turned to God, just like the rest of us have to turn to God to be saved. Surely we sent the mountains with him. They surely glorified with the evenings and the risings. And the birds gathered, all to him turner. So all the mountains and the birds used to sing with David. Yeah, and this is also in the Bible, you can read about it. So God turned the mountains and the birds with David to glorify him in a magnanimous, magnificent, amazing fashion. And we strengthened his kingdom, and we brought him the wisdom and distinguishing the addressing. So he's telling us what he did to David. So then he asks us, and has come to you news of the disputers. Behold, they came over the chamber. Behold, they entered over David, but feared from them, they said. So now disputers have come into the chamber of David, and David is fearful, terrified of them. And they said, don't you fear, two disputers. Transgress one of us over other, but judge between us with the truth. And don't you be false, and guide us to even the highway. So now they say, I mean, one of them said this, obviously. We'll figure out which one later. So this guy is saying, they say that there were two disputers. One of us is transgressed over the other. So judge between us with the truth, and don't be false, and guide us to the even highway. So now, then the guy says, the one who has the dispute, surely this my brother. So he's there, two brothers, obviously. To him 99 ewes, and to me you one. But he says, I will take care of her, and mighty with me in the addressing. So now he's accusing his brother of wronging him, right? Obviously. Now we know who thinks who has wronged. So at least this brother, who had one ewe, which is a sheep, by the way, female sheep, I believe. And he says his brother has 99, and he tells him to give him his ewe, so he will take care of her. And he's mighty in the addressing. So he's being arrogant and high and mighty over his brother by telling, give it to me, yeah? So now David responds, already wronged you with asking your ewe to his ewes, and surely many from the mixers to their transgressing, some of them over others, except those who believe and do the righteousness, and few are they. So now David is judged on the brother's statement, accepting that is the truth, that, yep, he has wronged you by taking your ewe to his ewes. And many of the mixers, they transgress, some of them over others, except those who believe and do the righteousness. And few are they. So now David has accepted the general consensus, which is most of people who mix in the business will transgress and steal from those they mix with. And he also knows that except those who believe and do the righteousness, and few are they. So they're very few. So he's like, normal judgment, sure, that's it. And thought David, so now after this, and thought David, surely what we tried him, but asked forgiveness of his Lord, and fell bowing and turning. So he said he turned, right? This is one of his turnings here. So now David thought that he's been tried, and he asked forgiveness of his Lord, so of God, obviously. And he fell bowing and turning. So how does he know he's been tried here? He's figured out that he did wrong. I mean, he's not going to ask forgiveness if he thought his judgment was correct. And then God says, so we forgave to him that. and surely to him with us to be closeness and abode, good abode. Yeah. So let's look at what's happening here. Yeah. Let's analyze these statements. So first of all, they both come and they say that we are two disputers. One has transgressed over the other and judge between us. So now they've both said, so who said this? Obviously, the brother who has the grudge. The other brother hasn't spoken. He's just speaking on behalf of both of them. His brother has not spoken, obviously. Or maybe he has also said, we are disputers. One has transgressed over the other. We'll figure out who's transgressed over whom here shortly, if we can. So then he says that he's got 99 ewes and I've only got one. And he says, I will take care of her. And he's mighty. So he's being high and mighty and aggressive in his speech, right? Because anybody who's arrogant in his speech has to be wrong, right? So then he says, okay, you've been wrong. So what is the consensus here? First of all, David doesn't ask the other brother anything, obviously. He's just made his judgment based on the conventional wisdom, which is when these things happen, the mixers are the ones who wronged. So, and we know this is not what happened. He did not wrong his brother, correct? If he had wronged his brother, then David would not have asked forgiveness of God for making a wrong judgment. This judgment would be correct. And generally, in these situations, that's how it works, right? Most of the time, look on the earth, is the same thing
Yeah.
today. Always been the same, never been different. So how is this wrong then? He's mighty as well. He's talking arrogantly to me. So, man, it's all wrong. In our judgment, that's all wrong, right? I mean, the moment somebody is high and mighty in his speech to you, you think he's wronging you. This is how we've been taught, right? And all your leaders are doing exactly that if you haven't realized, by the way. And they're wronging you, by the way, through their arrogance. So, what is the answer here? So, look at what that other brother is actually doing, which is not written here. This was inspired to me by God to think that way. So, how could he be right when he's taking his ewe and he has 99? So, think about it. Yeah, he's mixing, obviously. He's mixing his one ewe with his 99. So, now there are 100 ewes, correct? There are 100 ewes and he's taking care of all of them. So, say if a ewe dies, is he going to count that as his brother's ewe? No.
No.
No. So what's going to happen? The brother will always have a ewe as long as he has any ewes. So
Mm,
that's where the brother is not distinguishing this what his brother is doing to him. He's taking care of him. He's making sure he always has a ewe as long as he has more than two ewes, right? When
Yeah.
there's one left, he would say, okay, your ewe died now, this is mine. Or if he's the best of all, he would say, this is your ewe. I don't have any ewes left. 99 died. Yeah. Think about it. This is what's
yeah.
happening here. But most
Yeah.
people will never do that. Most people will do the
Yeah.
opposite. That's why David judged the normal judgment and he accepted, yeah, yeah, I can see that. But the reality is opposite of that. So he forgave. So we forgave him that. And then he said to David, oh, David, surely we make you caliph in the earth. So judge between the mankind with the truth. And don't you follow the thought, but it will make you astray over path of the God. Surely those they astray over path of the God, to them punishment severe, with what they forget day of the account. So he's telling them, don't follow your thought, because he followed his thought here, right? But then even after that, all that finishes a trial. This is a trial to David and for him to learn, right? We all make mistakes. And the reason we are tried and if we make the mistake is for us to learn and then not repeat that again. Yeah? Instead of what we do normally, double down and get worse than we always are. So he told him, now we make you caliph, judge between the mankind with the truth, and don't you follow the thought. So, and if you, those who astray will be punished severely. So you'll be astray if you follow your thought. That's why when you have a judgment to make, the first thing is to get all the facts straight and ask both sides of the story. When you listen to both sides of the story, in 99, almost 100% of the cases, you will find inconsistency. Then you will know one of the parties is not telling the truth. So in this case, nobody wronged anyone. It was a perception of that brother that his brother wronged him by taking his ewe to his 99 ewes. Okay. So that's the end of that one. Any issues, questions on that?
Throughout the conversation, the other guy never spoke.
Obviously, I mean, like we can
Yeah,
see that.
yeah, it's amazing. And God came to his defense.
Yeah, I mean, God,
Yeah.
God came or not is not the issue here. David figured out that he was being tried. I
Yeah,
mean, David is the one who accepted. Yeah, I mean, God showed him through inspiration, obviously, that he'd made a wrong judgment. And what happened after that for him to figure it out, we don't know. We don't have that knowledge here, so we don't know what actually happened. That David
Mhm.
understood that he was he was thinking and not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
so
And we do that. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Imran.
this could be tied to that sign where when comes a rebel with the news, we clarify.
Yeah, I mean, similar, correct.
Mm.
Although this is not related to a rebel here, right?
Yeah,
It's similar stuff that you just don't listen to one party, exactly what you're saying. It is a similar issue that you just don't listen to somebody and then you believe him, and a rebel, especially. This guy was obviously not a rebel, right? I mean, a rebel is someone who's
yeah.
against you. So that is even more uh, poignant to make sure that you understand what the guy is saying and verify what he's saying instead of just going and causing harm to people without understand, which is what we do again.
Yeah, we like I was just going to say that we normally do that, right? Whoever comes arrogantly and talks arrogantly, we always think of them as the being negative. We never think that he could ever be with the truth. And having said that, yes, you're correct. The leaders and the people on the top in this world, they do act arrogantly and they are wronging
Yeah, but
everybody
we
in
carte
general.
blanchely say that to like our
Yeah,
peers, like who you think as
yeah,
peers, yeah. But the leaders, you accept their
yeah,
arrogance over you. Do you understand that? To the teacher,
yeah,
the principal, the police guy, you will accept their arrogance over you. But the messenger of God, when he comes and talks down, oh no, you got to be spreading flowers from your mouth. Yeah, you got to
yeah.
be humble to us. You got to come meekly to us. Yeah, the meek will inherit the earth. Yeah, sure they will. The righteous will inherit the earth, not the meek. They might be meek as well to God, not to you people. We're not meek to any of the people on the earth. No messenger is humble to his people. I mean, show me that example if you can from the Quran or any
Yeah.
other book. We're not humble to you people. We're higher than you. How are we going to be humble to you? It's not going to happen. Anyways.
They're humble to God.
So anyway, so let's go. Do you want to go to the next one, or we? It's 11:30. We can switch over to questions because that's a long one. Yeah, the story of Solomon in 27. That's going to take a whole half hour easily to explain all of that.
I don't know. Do you have any
Well,
questions?
Summer has. Can we? What does he say? Can we do the seven example from this chapter seven? Wow, all of them? That's too much. That'll take like a day to explain all of that. So, uh, any one, we can do any one example from it, from chapter seven. Which one do you want? Which example of chapter seven of the seven examples? Not Moses. That's going to take a whole day as well. Of the other six. So, okay, we can start doing this. Anybody who has questions, you can post them. In the meantime, we will look at this story of Solomon in chapter 27. I mean, the story of David and Solomon is spread throughout the Quran as well. I just took one aspect of that. And this is what happened with Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. And the story begins with sign number 15, chapter 27. And already we brought David and Solomon knowledge, and they both said, the praise to God, the one who graced us over most from his servants, the believing. So they were highly graced, both David and Solomon, one of the most graced servants of God from mankind for sure. And inherited Solomon David. So David died, and Solomon inherited him. And he said, O you, the mankind, we taught speech of the birds, and we brought from everything. Surely this to be it the grace, the clear. So Solomon was brought everything and David together. I mean, if you look into the Quran, David and Solomon, Solomon specifically, had everything brought to him. Angels worked for him, demons worked for him, Satan's worked for him, men, birds, and all other sorts of things that we have no understanding of. So now, and gather to Solomon his forces from the demons and the men and the birds, but they march. So he's going marching somewhere, yeah. Till when they came over valley of the ants, said ants. So the ants said to each other, O you, the ants, enter your residences. Not they surely stomp you, Solomon and his forces. And they, not they perceive. So people use this saying that you're not supposed to stomp over ants. How do you know where the ant is? The ants are talking to each other, telling them, get into your houses. They're going to stomp you, and they don't perceive because they don't know where you are. It's not like you stomp over an ant and you're going to hell for it. Right? This is total nonsense. People say they can't perceive the little ants. They're riding on their whatever rides. They let it be their um, horses or cars or buggies or whatever they had back then. Yeah, and however they moved. So they tell them. So then, but amused, smile from their saying. And he said, so now you know they were taught speech of birds, but he can understand the ants as well. So he can understand all speech of all creatures on the earth. Solomon, you can derive that easily from here. So he could speak or understand the speech of anything that is on the earth that is living. Yeah. He said, Lord, give me ability that I thank your favor, which you favored over me and my two parents, and that I do righteousness. You like it. And admit me with your mercy and your servants, the righteous. So this he looked, and he looked at the grace that his God has given, and he thanked him. And he asked him for ability to do righteousness and admit him with his mercy in his servants, the righteous. This all of us need to do this when, especially when we're 40. And miss the bird, he said. So now he's missing a bird. What to me? Not I see the hood, or is from the absent. Now the tenor has changed. He's become arrogant suddenly. From his humbleness to God, this sounds kind of arrogant. To my surely punishing him punishment severe, or to my surely killing him, or to his surely coming to me with authority clear. A little bit of like split personality, you think, right? Obviously, because we are
Yeah.
all that. When you're talking to your low servant, you ain't gonna be, and especially when he's not where he's supposed to be. What? How do you act? Arrogantly. I mean, if he's supposed to be doing what you tell him, your servant, and he's not doing it, or your employee, what? You're gonna be happy with him? No. Here he's being clear, then I want to punish him. I want to kill him, or he comes with authority clear. This hudhud, the bird, but tarried other than far. But he said, I encompass with what not you encompass with it. And I come to you from Sheba with news sure. So he's telling him, hey, you don't know what I can see what you can't see, and I've come to you with sure news from Sheba. Surely I found a woman. She reigns them, and she brought from everything, and to her a throne great. So he found a woman reigning over them in Sheba, and she's been brought everything, and she's got a throne great. I found her and her people, they prostrating to the sun from other than the God, and beautifies to them the Satan their deeds, but stops them over the path. So they, not they guided. So now they're prostrating to the sun. Look at these people. You know, do you see the sun symbols all over the place? If you haven't or you can't, you're blind. These cultists are prostrating to the sun. They make sun gods, just like they make Jesus son of God. Yeah. Surely not they prostrate to God, the one. He brings out the nothingness in the heavens and the earth, and he knows what you hide and what you announce. This is the bird, by the way. This is the bird. They all know, huh? All these creatures know who's God. The God, no God except He, Lord of the throne, the great. So he talks about her throne, but the throne, the great, is God's. Yeah, not none of us have that. So now Solomon responds, soon we will see, are you truthful or you are from the falsifiers. You see them talking to each other direct, straight up. No ifs, buts, or whats. This is what I see. Okay, we'll see, man, if you're a falsifier or not. Go with my book, this, but throw it to them. Then you turn over them. but see what they return. So he sent them with the book that he wrote, his writing. So the Sheba, Queen of Sheba, says, O you, the chiefs, surely I, thrown to me a book honorable. So whatever this book, she found it to be honorable. Surely it from Solomon, and surely it with name of the God, the Almighty, the Merciful. Surely don't you be high over me and come to me, Muslims. So he's telling them mightily with the name of God and say, come to, don't be high over me. Okay, what is he saying? You are lowly in front of me. Come to me submitting. So she says, O you, the chiefs, counsel me in my command. Nor I am cutting command till you witness. Because the women are a bit unsure, yeah. They said, we with force and with war severe, and the command to you, but look what you order. Then she responds, she said, surely the kings, when they enter city, they war her, and they make honorable keepers of her ignominious. And like that they do. Look around you. When your famous leaders and powerful cities, they enter other countries or cities, what do? They destroy and they turn over the honorable into the ignominious and put the ignominious on top. Guess what? God's going to do the same thing. But the ignominious that you think are ignominious are actually the honorable, where in this case, none of them are honorable. They're all ignominious on the earth today. And surely I will send to them with offering. But we'll see with what they return the messengers. So she's going to send the messengers, her messengers, with offering. So, but when came to Solomon, he said, so now they've come to Solomon with an offering. And Solomon says, are you surely adding me with wealth? But what brought me the God better from what brought you? But you with your offering, you be rejoicing. So he's like, go to hell. What is this nonsense? Return to them, but to are surely coming to them with forces, no facing to them with them, and to are surely taking them out from her ignominiously, and they lowly. So he told the messengers, you go tell them that you're gonna get taken out, and we're gonna destroy you. Then we're gonna make you ignominious, and we're gonna take you out from it ignominiously. And they be lowly. So this is how God's messenger in charge act. Yeah, I mean Solomon was completely in charge of everything on the earth fundamentally when he was there. God gave him everything, the power to do whatever he wanted. No question would be asked of him. So he said, now uh, Solomon turns and he says, "Oh, you, the chiefs, which of you he will bring to me with her throne before that they come to be Muslim." So he's so sure that they're going to come because they know he's going to destroy them. He's so sure. He said, who's going to come with the throne, her throne to me before they come to me Muslims? Said Ifrit from the demons. So one of the demons was called Ifrit. There are only two demons named in the Quran. One is Iblis, who is a Satan, and this is the other one called Ifrit, who was one of the chiefs. The chiefs. He has chiefs. Amongst the chiefs is a demon. Do you understand this? People think this is all nonsense. They don't understand what's going on around them. Said Ifrit from the demons, I will bring you with it before that you stand from your station, and surely I over it to be powerful, secure. So understand this. So the time he takes to stand up from his station, wherever he's sitting, this to understand how powerful the demon is, this demon specifically. He will bring it within a few seconds. However far it is, we don't know. I mean, pretty far. I'm sure it wasn't like in the close vicinity of Solomon. So now, the second sign after this, said the one with him knowledge from the book. Which book is this? I will tell you in a little while. I will bring you with it before that it returns to you, your glance. So understand what this guy is. This is the other chief, right? Of these two chiefs spoke to him of all the chiefs that were in front of him. The demon and this one who has knowledge from the book. Which book? We don't know yet. I will bring you with it, the throne, before that it returns to you, your glance. So faster than the speed of light. So before the light and goes from his eyes to him and back, he will have the throne there. But when saw it placed with him, he said. So right there, it was there. Before you can say anything, the throne was sitting next to Solomon. Then Solomon says, this from grace of my Lord. To his trying me, do I thank or I reject? And one who thanks, but surely what he thanks to his soul. And one who rejects, but surely my Lord self sufficient, honored. So now look at all the people on the earth who have some power. Do they thank or do they reject? Most, if not all, are rejectors. They get grace from God and they make themselves gods as if they got it because of their own knowledge. That knowledge is within themselves, it came from themselves. They invented all of this. Look at all these leaders, especially Musk's and the Soros and all these big bankers and tycoons and all this. They think they invented something, that they got it all by themselves. They'll soon find out. When you have something given to you which is full of grace and honor, you need to be humble to God and thank Him that you have it, because He can take it away anytime He wants. You don't have any control over it. So, who is this guy? So, let me explain to you that there are angels working for Solomon as well, not just demons and Satans, angels as well. There were two specifically sent down to establish this kingdom of Solomon. Their names are Haruth and Maruth, spoken about in chapter 2. And they taught magic to the Satans, by the way. They taught magic to people on the earth, these two angels. That is a different story. So, the one who said, who had knowledge from the book, which book is this? This is the mother of the book, the one that has everything in it, controls everything, has the record of everything that has occurred. And the angels have access to that book. The spirit and the angels have access to that book, and they know how to do all these things without any kind of hindrance of time and space. That hindrance is only to us and lesser to the demons, obviously, because you've heard what the demon can do. Can you do it? No,
No.
obviously. So then he says, make weird to her her throne. We will see. Is she guided or she be from those not they guided? So Solomon told them, make it put some weirdness on it so she doesn't know exactly that it's her throne. But when she came, was said, is this like your throne? So she was asked. She said, like surely it. And we brought the knowledge from before it, and we are Muslim. So she had already become Muslim, submitted to God and obviously Solomon, and stopped her that she was, and stopped her what she was, she serving from other than the God. Surely she was from people rejecting. So she was stopped with all this thing that happened. She but turned to God. Was said to her, enter the platform. And this, I believe, is in Jerusalem, the old house where the temple was created, and Solomon used to reign from there, from the Temple Mount, where the old house is, where the Dome of the Rock is today. That is this place. But when she saw it, she thought it a lake, and she uncovered over her skirt. He said, surely it a platform covered from crystal. So she thought it was water, and she put up her skirt to walk in it. She said, Lord, surely I wrong my soul, and I submit with Solomon to God, Lord of the knowing. So this is the story of what happened with the part of the story of Solomon. Most of it actually is this. So that's how Sheba was turned away from serving other than God and prostrating to the the son and her people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that about Moses. Hud. So Summer says, let's go ahead, Imran. You ask first. Let's talk about this a little, and then we can.
I just wanted to confirm he had knowledge from the book. Which one was that? I was distracted by some Satans here. So
The book that is with God, the book that has everything in it. All
he
the
had
mother
knowledge
of
of
the
that
book,
book.
referred to as mother of the book in the Quran, not the
Okay.
one in chapter 3, the one that is written other place, the mother of the book which is by the side of God and the angels and the spirit. So
Okay.
that is
He
the
had
book.
knowledge of that book,
Yeah,
mother
the
of the book.
angels have knowledge of that book. That's how
Okay.
they give life and death and all the other things. They know exactly how to do what. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
yeah, I say this to you because somebody 4 or 5 years ago said to me that If you have knowledge from the book, then bring that throne that was brought. So that person, if he's listening or if he gets a chance to listen, he should understand that it was not from, he did not have knowledge of the Quran. There was not the Quran that was mentioned here. It was mentioned the mother of the book.
Yeah,
Do you
they
remember
they
I told you about that guy?
I don't remember. I vaguely remember something like that. But like we don't have the Solomon couldn't bring it. Although Solomon had the power to control the wind, in addition to all the other things I told you right now.
Hmm.
So he had power to control the wind, you know, and he had power, but not this power that these angels had, and the demon, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so now we have Summer saying Hud, so we can listen to what happened to Hud, yeah, which is the example fundamentally of what happens to all people. They all get destroyed once the messenger comes, and they reject him. This is one example, a minor example of Hud, yeah, in chapter 7. So let's bring it up. So here, and to Ad their brother Hud. Their brother? Yes, because we're all brothers, okay? From Adam down, Adam and his spouse down, we're all brothers, all of us. And from us, there are fathers of us and sons and everything. But in general, under Adam, we're all brothers. And in their people, he's their brother, obviously. He said, "O my people, serve the God, not to you from God other than him. Will but not you fear." So, this all messengers do the same thing. Nobody comes with some new. When people tell me that I come and I'm just repeating the words of other messengers, what do you expect me to do? Come with something new? Everything has already been done. We're all repeating. Muhammad was only repeating. He didn't add anything to anybody. He just repeated the words of all the messengers that have passed before him, including the Messiah Jesus. He's a follower of all of them. I'm a follower of all of them. You think he's separate from them, and he tells you, no, 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 don't follow Jesus. He brought Christianity, or don't follow Moses. He brought some other law. Nonsense. We're all saying exactly the same thing, except Moses, who added the law which God brought him, and then everything after that is what Moses brought. Period. It's a continuation which ended with Moses and the Torah, and everything after that has been repetition and reinforcement, and none of it helps these people. Said the chiefs, those who rejected from his people. So those surely we to our seeing you in foolishness, and surely we to our thinking you from the falsifiers. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, is that what they tell me? Right. I wonder why. I mean, I shouldn't be. This shouldn't happen to me. It only happened to who? Why? Why is it happening to me as well? Okay. He said, "O my people, not with me foolishness, and but surely I, messenger from Lord of the knowing." So these rejecting, and these are the chiefs. You understand? These chiefs are the ones who are in charge of the earth. Any leader, if I say to him this, he will turn to me saying he's crazy, he needs to go to a psychiatric institution, or he needs some help. Yeah. And then he says, I deliver you messages of my Lord, and I sincere, secure. So I'm being sincere to you, and I'm secure. So don't screw with me. That's what he's trying to tell them, yeah? Or you wonder that comes to you reminder from your Lord over a man from you, to his warning you. And remember, behold, you made caliphs from after people of Noah, and you added in the creation extension. So remember favors of the God. Maybe you prosper. So he's trying to be sincere. He's telling them, hey, I'm not fool. I'm a messenger from Lord of the knowing, from God, and I'm delivering his message, and I'm sincere and secure in many ways. So they said, have you come to us to our serving the God, one of him, and are leaving what are they serving, our fathers? But bring us with what you promise us, if you be from the truthful. Look, this is the every time, like Imran just said, that the guy said, bring the throne. Yeah, they want you to like turn the earth upside down, or split the heaven, or come with gardens and treasures and angels and the God and everything. Yeah, they want you to bring all signs, and they will still not believe, by the way, if you do that. He said, Now they tell him this, and he says, has occurred over you from your Lord abomination and anger. Are you surely disputing me in names? You name them, you and your fathers, not sends down the God with them from authority. So be waiting. Surely I with you from the waiting. So this is what all of us tell them when they do that, and it's been done. I've done this, they've done that, and fundamentally it's over for these people. They don't understand that their end has already been finished, decided. They're going to be destroyed. They don't understand what's going on right now in the earth today. So, but we saved him and those with him with mercy from us. So, the angels and the spirit, by the command of God, save all of us at the end when the destruction comes on these people. And we cut backs of those who falsified with our signs and not they were believers. So, this is a clear example, a perfect example, actually, a good choice to understand what's going on here. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It tied into the earlier chapter.
Yeah, I mean, God works in mysterious ways. Yeah, I was just telling last week, Manas, that God is so mysterious that you have no understanding what's about to happen on the earth.
Yeah. And actually, going back to your the conversation we were having at the beginning of the, uh, you mentioned about me being a witness of you translating the Quran, and I just wanted to say this. I should have said it then, but I didn't. But like, I do remember that when you started, you did a few pages of the Quran initially to see how it goes, and then you did in a few days, and then the whole Quran you translated, and as my memory tells me, in 28
Yeah,
days.
30 days, under 30 days, I finished the whole thing. I mean, 13 hours a day I used to sit and type.
Yes,
And
yes,
I was
yes. I
like, I
remember.
can't even imagine how I
Uh,
did that. Absolutely.
yeah, I remember him sitting on his computer, and he had his Arabic Quran opened in front of him, and the monitor was helping to keep it propped up, and between the keyboard and that, and he would be typing all day. And then he would take a break for lunch, and then he would stop around dinner time, and then he would be finished. And then he would be like, I don't know if I can continue tomorrow or not. But then thank God, God would give him energy. And then he would be at it again, and then he finished it
And then I
all.
did it six other
Uh,
times after that. Little did I
Yeah,
know what was
yeah.
coming. Yeah. Mysterious is how God works. I thought I was done. I was not done till 2021. I was done in 2021 when I finalized the seventh iteration of the translation. And I sent the warning to the whole world and their leaders while they laugh, some of them who read it, they laugh at that warning. And what has happened in the 4 years since gives no one pause to think maybe that guy was telling the truth. But they will know when the actual destruction comes that I'm telling the truth.
yeah. To the point of what Manas earlier said, it is bizarre that those who accuse us as a falsehood, they have no idea of the striving or the struggle that he's gone through.
Yeah, they think I just woke up
Yeah.
one day and became a messenger of God. Yeah. You look at the story of Moses. He killed a guy, then he asked forgiveness, he got forgiveness. Then the next day he wanted to kill a guy again, and God took him away, sent him to Madian, Tiberias today, spent 8 or 10 odd years there, contentions. Then he came. So, it's not a thing that happens to us overnight. Yeah, if you're lucky like Jesus and Yahya, John the Baptist, so called, then yeah, you're born with all the knowledge and purity, and you don't have to struggle too much. But it's God's choice. He chooses who He wishes, He creates what He wishes. You're no one to tell Him what He can create or not, or who He can choose or not. You choose yourself, yeah? I mean, I don't choose to be God's messenger, although I do. But if I choose not to be and He chooses to me, ain't gonna end well, yeah? Yeah, you choose. You don't choose me to be the messenger of God. God chose me to be His messenger. You can choose me not to be His messenger. It ain't gonna end well for you because God gives us the choice to not choose what He chooses, including the messenger. The example of Jonah is clear. After being a messenger, he abandoned the work of God and ran away. And then he cried in the stomach of the fish for God knows how long till God turned over him, and the fish spat him out on the side of the sea, and then God resurrected him from his sickness, cleansed him, and then he went, and 100,000 or more people believed after that. It was 125,000 if you look at the Bible. The Quran says 100,000 or more, and the Bible says 125,000. So the more were 25,000 more. So
Beautiful.
125,000 believed with Jonah after he came back from his disaster.
Yeah.
What a party there must have been once they all believed.
Well, yeah, I'm not so sure, yeah, because the example of the believers I've seen in the book doesn't give me too much solace.
That's true.
Anyway, are we done? I think we're done, yeah. The guy
Yeah.
didn't show up. I think maybe he was missed because of the timing, yeah, possibly. Or he's just given up, which most people do. Anyway, we can continue, correct?
That's correct.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
So,
Inshallah.
uh, who were the brothers of Ad,
No,
right?
Ad were the
No,
brothers of Hud.
sorry. Ad were the brothers of Hud. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the people of Asad, we will be brothers of you.
Brothers of Asad, yeah. All of you are my brothers on the earth.
Oh, that's
People
cool.
call, hey, brother, brother, yeah. That doesn't mean you're my friend or you're supporting me. We're all brothers. So we can call each other brothers or sisters, depending. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway. All right, then. We will call it a day. And next week, if wishes God, the same time on Friday, 1 p.m. New York time. Peace.
Peace.